Okay, so I'm Elijah, and we're Daedalus Lab.
Just kidding, we're NeuroFocus.
Yeah.
We're building NeuroFocus, by the way.
So we've basically been building NeuroFocus for 2 years now. Yeah.
Yeah, in the meantime, we pivoted a lot, right? In
Yeah.
2024, we started with the Anza Innovation
Yeah.
Challenge, and we talked with Professor Roland Chen. He was a pretty nice guy, helped us define our business goal,
Yeah.
target audience, and it was a pretty good
Yeah.
session.
Oh, that's the time I went to Hack Harvard.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. That's a long.
Oh, that year I rejected by 4 hackathons in a row. I got rejected by Hack Harvard and asked them why. They said, no, we cannot tell individual reasons why we reject you. And then I got rejected by Hack Princeton. I got rejected by 3 hacks. I got rejected by, who else? Oh,
Cal? No, you always got into Cal.
Cal hacks, I didn't get rejected. I got rejected by Hop hacks and I think John Hopkins hack.
Oh.
And I got rejected by Hack MIT. But I got into 3 hacks, by the way, and it was in 2025, and I think they...
Did you win anything?
No, I didn't win, but I got... I mean, we were very good friends there.
Yeah. And
then we started building, NeuroFocus with... Remember how we started with the Computation Neuroscience Club, and then we were the first and only Computation Neuroscience Club at De Anza College.
Yeah. So how it started is I talked to Allison, and we just say, oh, we want to start a club, and we want to have a group of really smart people, not just someone who wants to put things on their resume. Not beefing anyone here, but we hate that kind of people. Just want to put stuff on their resume and show pretty stuff instead of actually doing the work. And yeah, that's the reason we started. So we gather close friends because we don't know what people here. So at the time we just started and then reach out to our close friends. And then somehow, after a few months, our original tech lead leave the club. And then I know Inky from a pitch competition about this Oki computer.
Yeah, we remember Oki computer was that was the super funny thing I ever watched. That was crazy. And I mean, they won the pitch competition, by the way. Good job to that. But I thought I watched their website and then I was wondering, there's advertising themselves as PC, personal PC, AI computer. We provide AI ready VRAM, but actually they just name that just gaming GPUs as AI ready GPUs, which doesn't make sense. You can just sell, pen as a founder's pen, right? Yeah. You can just sell regular book as it's founder's book. It's it was just super hilarious. There's no deep tech inside, and he is just pivoting into AI, framing into AI thing, and it was very funny. And then that's how we actually met. What were we building at the time?
I think we're trying to put because we found the DIY thing, and then that's what we built actually. Yeah. But we couldn't find a way to put it together. I forgot why. Probably.
Oh yeah. We found a DI version from Instructables, the website Instructables, and we found circuit, and we purchased all the components from DigiKey, and they arrived. But for some reason, it was just super complicated to understand. Even though we get some data acquisition, but it's not clear how we should understand. Or we know nothing about EEG data acquisition. We don't know about electrodes. We just have to buy a specific electrode they suggest us. We just buy it. We don't know why it works and how it works. Have nothing about it.
Yeah.
Even though data transferring to computer, right? They use the audio jack 3.5 audio jack, but the audio jack has 3 lines. 3 lines is actually just audio, and if it has 4 lines, there has a microphone inside. We didn't even know that. It was crazy.
And they even use some weird programming language. I forgot what it is, but it's not even C++ or something that's related to Arduino. I forgot what it is.
Weird programming language. Was it assembly?
No.
Not assembly?
No.
But there's no programming language that relates to Arduino that's not C++.
But they're not using Arduino. They use some weird... we'll look it up.
But didn't use any coding though.
We didn't, but they have this kind of program to let you play the ping pong.
Yeah. They use how to call it, processing ID. They use Java.
Yeah.
They use Java.
That's Java?
Yeah.
Fuck.
They simulate apps on that. It's called processing ID, and it's just super deep tech. It's like open source developer thing. It's not friendly. User unintuitive, that kind of thing.
And from there, we basically just started to. So Inky has like bunch of experience building custom PCB. So actually, we bring our first ever custom PCB to a VC. I still have contact with him, and he's kind of my friend. So we still talk, but at that time, it's kind of funny. We just bring a raw like PCB chip and then to him and then say, oh, this is our product, we're going to detect sleep. And then that's our first pivot after meeting him.
And then we try to detect like sleep, right? We're trying to play game and try to detect sleep at first, and we're thinking sleep is the ultimate thing that we can solve. And when we got into innovation challenge, we pivoted into something completely different, like truck drivers, when they get drowsy, we wanted to detect that. But that needs to be changed completely, and we decide to build as a bone conduction because, 2 points in here in O1 and O2, those 2 points are pretty accurate points for focus detection. We were getting the data from those 2 points, and we bought like bone conduction headphone. We started.
Oh yeah.
And I still remember that 3D printed file.
Still on my desk.
Yeah, 3D printed file, and then just like, taped it into bone conduction headphone.
Yeah, and we used that to get into the ENSA's business innovation bootcamp for like 4 weeks. We didn't win.
We didn't win. We not even like.
Not even close.
Not even close. It was pretty interesting.
And yeah,
it was a good experience. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem initially for both of us is we don't know like how important it is to talk to user or potential user, but now we know. But at that time, we didn't talk to truck drivers. We talked to trucking company, which is totally wrong because
they don't know their truck drivers.
Yeah, they don't know their truck drivers that well, and truck drivers are actually pretty picky on what they're going to wear because they don't wear anything and everything for them is uncomfortable. So that's our second pivot, and then into what? ADHD.
And then we pivoted to ADHD, and we are very close to and we're trying to implement into HAD, right? Well, we got into Foothill Innovation Challenge, something. Foothill Startup.
Might be.
Foothill.
Because bootcamp is scheduled in fall, and probably we pivot after the bootcamp around November.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started to building towards students and ADHD. We want to help people to get more focused.
Help students to get more focused.
Yeah.
And then we got into Foothill Incubator, and we got very good mentor, former Intel executive, Ron Zinger, and he helped us a lot about being aggressive to go into market, talk to users. He helps a lot. He still mentors us.
Yeah.
And that was one of the great things
Very good person.
Yeah.
So, but we still in school actually. And right now we're still in school. So at that time we couldn't learn so fast and rapidly to pivot in 2 weeks, and we decide, this doesn't work out. So that's the reason why we waste a lot of time, but probably not wasting a lot of time. We just keep building.
Yeah, we were discovering product market fit.
Yeah, just learning stuff though.
Yeah, trying to find the target audience, and was doing school at the same time starting a company. Trying to build a product is incredibly difficult. School is our priority, and at the same time startup is also very important. And I don't know how I was managing it. I remember I was getting C and failing a lot of classes. I remember.
Yeah, I hate studying actually. I don't like to study.
I like the idea of studying, but I just can't do it.
Idea of studying. Jesus.
Whenever I talk with my physics professor in office hours, and it's just super awesome to talk about everything around the universe, just how in energy conservation work, you cannot really generate energy. Energy is like forms from one to another, and it's just super awesome to like discover about. And then whenever I talk with my physics professor, I just go to home and start watching physics content like space, cosmology, and the whole night. It's just awesome to discover. And I still listen to podcasts in cosmology. I think, yeah, I love physics, honestly. I really love physics.
Yeah, and then where were we? And we pivot the third times because first off, college students turns out don't have a lot of money to purchase a very expensive device. And we also talked to a founder that's doing ADHD diagnosis. She taught us a lot, but anyways, we decided to pivot.
And also another important point besides that, students are not not have means to pay a product like that, but also it's not a huge problem for them to not being focused. Even though they're not focused, they figures out to delete their Instagram account or like deactivate your account for a couple of months and then come back to after the final ends, or go find a study group or go into peer tutoring session, right?
Yeah.
Those are very important. But there's like ways to do other stuff instead of try to figure out the focus. That's the one thing we discovered for students.
Yeah, but how did we get into gamer space after that? I totally forgot.
We were targeting a lot of we were thinking about gamers, right? And we mentioned about what if we target game developers who are willing to get a data that that users are experiencing with. And we didn't really go well with that. I think it was very vague. We didn't even talk with the user developers, so we don't know about that. But I think you reached out to T1 COO.
Yeah, I reached out to actually like 100 plus people around esports, and then somehow the only person who responds to me is Josh from T1, and it's actually interesting. But like he's super good, but after talking to him, we haven't actually validating that they were going to buy it, but we stick to because we talked to T1 and it seems like there's going to be a very good result, so we stick to that, which also another fault of ours.
You cannot really like think one of the founders think, he thinks this way and we have to pivot, and then another founder just found like, he thinks this way, we've pivoted. You cannot really do that. You have to be relentless to figure out what your user really wants instead of pivoting. I mean, be inconsistent on what you're building.
Yeah, and the first 4 weeks of Founders Inc. So we bring this idea from eSport, EEG, into Founders Inc. And the first 4 weeks, we started to actively talking to like eSport players and engaging with eSport organization, eSport company, eSport players, and even do a few testing. But turns out they're just interesting in this project instead of willing to pay for this. So we pivoted again like last week.
And also, one thing I noticed is that eSport players are not, probably they don't experience the problem that they're not really focused because they have different strategies to like implement it. So it was not really a huge problem for them to solve. Yeah. And they're also not willing to pay. Lots of eSport players treat gaming as entertainment. They don't treat it as like eSport competitive sport. Even though they're competitive players, their team pay for their product most of the time instead of they're like individually buying the product. So which is wrong.
I think it's more like a marketing stuff for us. And we just need to give them our device, let them put it on, perhaps our icon for NeuroFocus. But the thing I want to say is they think this device more as a cherry on top solution instead of like a foundation, because they have like thousands of things that can improve until they wear EEG.
Yeah.
So
right now here we are.
Building for founders.
We distribute to like people who distribute to millions. So we win-win.
Like, this should be very obvious. who cares about productivity and wear headphones all the time. Probably most of the founders, workers, coders, programmers.
We started like talking to founders more often, like not being like not being shy a lot, like start talking to them a lot, very openly, and then we noticed like pattern. They lose focus, but they just crashed out. They have no idea. They're just taking more Red Bulls, and start fixing a button UI for 6 hours straight, but not making a lot of changes. Like that's actually my problem. Like I started during hackathon, like overnight hackathon. I try to work on the project overnight. Try to make this as beautiful as possible, as good as possible. Try to impress judges, but my problem is just too intensely. I mean, even though I'm just crashed out, I'm just still trying to make progress and changing UI for one button for 6 hours straight. And I was like, after the 6 hours, I was just like, what the fuck? What am I doing? Like, I'm just fixing for, one UI you call it. Who cares in the end? Like, even if you won the, biggest prize in the hackathon, that doesn't really make a lot of difference. Like, yeah.
My problem is when I enter a prompt, I'll just start to doom scroll, and then 30 minutes pass by. That prompt probably finished 20 minutes ago, so I waste like entire 20 minutes on doom scrolling. Yeah. And anyways, we're opening our pre-orders right now.
Yeah, we just opened our pre-order and it's live. You can buy. Yeah, check it out. NeuroFocus.dev.
And we're going to ship it before Christmas in December. So pressure's on us, putting more pressure. You'll get a better device. So yeah, that's for today. Anything you want to add?
Are you willing to use this for every day once we finish our device?
Oh, definitely. Like, if I can put it right now, I'll definitely wear it. It's not ready. But everything's there. You just need to put it together, do more testing. Yeah, I miss my headphones. Oh, and by the way,
this is
the reason I miss my headphones is it looks like that.
Every day I'm just building it and it's just so messy. I test it every day. So
yeah. This is our old version, 3 electrodes, 1 channel. This is our new version, what you're getting. So yeah, we're going to put electrodes on the earpad. What you need to do, just swap the earpad, put it on your existing XM or QC series, and yeah, it'll work. Trust us. Trust me, bro. Citation, trust me, bro.
This is our 5th iteration, by the way. And this design has been reviewed by fabrication company and me for like 5 times in order to get it finally produced like this.
Yeah.
Place a pre-order and see what you get.
And we should mention the dashboard thing, the scoreboard. So after we launching the product, this is like our future plan, but that's the number one thing we're going to do, because we know our target customer is going to be in SF and tech bros. So we're going to build a scoreboard based on how productive you are, and we're going to rate them. And we'll definitely have a special prize for the top 3. And we don't know what that is. You guys can guess. And yeah, that's it.
That's it. Thank you, everyone.